knowing fully well that we will be going for Champions League, added more other things onto it. Okay, because from year for last, when Bakal told me, coach, with or without the stadium in the Gambia, we'll be participating when we win the league next season. That was last year. The only thing that's going to deter us from going is going to be the licensing, the licensing. So obviously, when we won the league, he told me, coach, we are going because we're going all out there to to do the course. So we say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, we achieved the licensing, and then here we are heading to Morocco for the preliminary rounds.
I know how crucial or important achieving that A license it is. Not just for Real de Banjul, but for you at personal level. What is the feeling like for you to be given that opportunity? It's a proud privilege.
It was a surprise for me because I was never thinking that I'll go that far. I never thought that I'll be in a club that will spend fortune on me. Knowing fully well that I was never part of the club. I came into the club, as somebody who was contracted, and then from there, I was trusted to head the team, in achieving that licensing. I think it is a big plus for me and my family, especially with the fans and the club as a whole.
Now, knowing that you head into the CAF Champions League qualifier, that is another responsibility on not just you as a person, but Real de Banjul. I know it's a club, but in the club, individual responsibilities play a role. And in your case, the technical, responsibility to these athletes, how of a burden or significance has it been for you heading to Rabat?
I think the first thing we should all try to understand here is players they don't believe in your licensing, they don't believe in your tactics. What they believe in is how much you care for them. That is the most important thing. If I always say this to my fellow coaches, if your presence can't influence the performance of the team, walk away. Yeah, that's the most important thing. So I think for us, we win the heart and mind of our players. They believe in whatever we are telling them. That's why we are getting the results today.
So many players have, of course, gone elsewhere, but so many players equally have come into Real de Banjul. Taken from the media officer, do you have the players to take us to the CAF Champions League affair?
Absolutely. With us, we trust the materials that we have. It's about somebody understanding your concept. When they understand your concept, it's easier for them to walk through. So I think with this, no matter how young they are, I think with the concept we try to show them, they fully understand that. All right. Especially our last game against Stade that was the very day I stood. I talked to my manager. I said, manager, I'm fully confident that when you go to Rabat, we have a water fight. All right. These kids, they are more than willing to play, especially with the motivational aspect from the club. All right, they are well motivated to play in Rabat. The rest assured that.
I think we are already assured. We are quite sure of that because we've seen how much of investment Real de Banjul has done. So to not these players, but to the club in general. But let's talk about the two matches, 21st and 27th. How has the preparations been at the training ground? A reminder that, of course, Mr. Willie Abraham is on standby. We will get to him to give us the logistical preparations or, arrangements. This is why this flagship program is important. This is how what is happening at local ground, but also elsewhere where the activity or the event itself is going to hold. So we have Willie Abraham already as part of the advanced team for Real de Banjul in Rabat, and he will give us all the important Johnny is concerned. Let's talk about the training sessions, the preparations, the technical preparation campaign you've made since I believe your Dream Football Academy complex and coming here to the football hotel. Thanks to, of course,
these are young players that need to be motivated, that need to return. They also have the trust, what they are seeing. At Basori, we have almost 5 weeks of intensive preparation. It wasn't easy. We came here, the Goal Project here, to reduce the intensity of the training, but try to maintain the level. Because these are young lads, we don't want to burn them out, heading towards the big day, as you said, on the 21st. And this is a key moment. All right, training out there in Basori, with my lieutenants, we find it easier because Real de Banjul ESCO have provided the coaches around me. We have coaches who were able to control, no matter how light the number was, we were able to control the players and then try to make our screening and then have the team that can represent Real and the Gambia as a whole in Morocco.
Coach, thank you very much. I'll come back to you. Now let me head back to the team captain, Mr. Yankuba, who is also has been a phenomenal player and an outstanding player for Real de Banjul during the course of the season, a champion for that matter. Your role has not only limited to the goalpost, I mean, as an athlete, but even at individual level, your morals, the leadership you've shown on the pitch. Tell us, how are the boys?
Thank you very much. I think the boys, everyone is okay because we have been, everyone is prepared mentally and physically for the action in Morocco.
So, I mean, the camp from Basuri to Goal Project. A lot of players in Ekadiwa, what are they saying? They want to talk at players, you know. There must be some good vibes around them that to some it's going to be their first time, to some they've been there and they want to prove another point. It could be, but what has been the feeling, the atmosphere from the players?
Yeah, everyone, like I said earlier on, everyone is prepared mentally and physically, and the management also are doing everything to make sure that we are prepared for this task ahead of us. But this is not something that is a pressure on us. I can say it's a burden on us because the whole nation is relying on us. But it is not a pressure on us. This is what we love to do. This is what we want to do. And then we are living here for Morocco then to make the positive results. And I hope we are going to have the results that we want.
What would your participation at the CAF Champions League mean to you as an individual, having played for, represented the country at youth level, now again coming to represent your club at international level? What does it mean to you in person and your football career?
Yeah, this is not something new. I have been on these stages for several times. I have been there with the under-23, I have been there with Fortune, and here now with Real de Banjul. Yeah, within the team we have a lot of young players, but of course within our midst we have players who have been in this stage. So with the help of those players and these young players, I think we are going to make the dominance that we need.
What is the dream? What do you intend to achieve?
Yeah, there's only one dream that is going out there, make the team proud and the nation as well, because this here we are going under the badge of Real de Banjul, but also we are representing the whole nation. So there's nothing that we are relying on except what we work for the past 1 month or so. Like the coach said here, the management has done a lot. They have done extremely well for us in accommodating us in Basuri. You know, it is not easy, you know, financially and all those kind of things that surround the camp. But all what we have to do is we have to go out there, make the team proud, make everyone proud. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll get back to you. You understand also that there's an ongoing activity at the football hotel where Real de Banjul athletes, players and staff, of course, have been taken through on the FIFA loss of the game, which is quite important because this again shows that it's a collective responsibility, and Real de Banjul as a club know what is at stake and they know the responsibilities that lies ahead of them, that it's beyond just having the coaches or the management to invest and the coaches to give tactical instructions, but equally how knowledgeable, how aware are the athletes of the rules of the game, how aware they are on the laws of the game equally, so that, you know, not everything must be said by the coach or the management. Sometimes you need to learn yourself, and that is what is actually happening at the Goal Project, where, of course, we have expert referees who are taking them through some important laws of the game. But let me get back to Mr. Fode Jata, the team media officer, for a final round before we get an ex-co, Mr. Willie, who is anticipatingly waiting at Rabat. I know he can't wait to join us live. Mr. Willie, we will get you very soon. But Fode Jata, we spoke about the reactions of the public as far as Real de Banjul's participation at CAF Champions League is concerned. But let's talk about the opponent team and, you know, what it would mean not just to Real de Banjul, but to the Gambian football, having a club from the Gambia, our champions, representing us at CAF Champions League level or international level.
Thank you very much, Amadou. I think My statsman is behind, Yusuf Asanya, who is the admin coach, who is always responsible for the statistics. I'm not sure he will forgive me for doing his job here. But AS FAR is a top club that has been one of the biggest clubs in Africa. Looking at the history of the club, they have achieved a lot. They are one of the oldest clubs in Morocco. And they were in the quarterfinals of the last edition of the CAF Champions League. That shows you how good a team they are. But if you look at them closely, maybe both will agree with me, they did not compete in the CAF since 2014, since we last did, until 2024. We could have been there before them. When we won the first league title in 2013 and 14, 2024 rather. But we did not participate until now. If you look at AS FAR, they went to the quarterfinal, and in 2024 they bowed out in the second round of the qualifiers, where we want to be after hopefully beating them in the first round. Real de Banjul is a team that has been doing very well in a very long time, and being in the CAF Champions League is not something new, like Young Boy will say and Coach will say. They have what it takes to go with a very, very good team. And this is what every player is looking forward to. Every coach is looking forward to, and every country, and every fan of this club and this country. I will always measure our chances against AS FAR as a Gambian. So if you look at the Gambian football and North African football, we've mostly stunned them because maybe we are the underdog all the time. You remember in the AFCON, we defeated Tunisia, and also we played against Algeria in the qualifiers. Freedom scored an equalizer inside Algeria. This shows how tight it is when we play with North African opponents. And just recently, some of our players who are here with us played in the Chan team against Algeria in the qualifiers. We saw what happened at the stadium here. We could have won the game. Going back in Algeria, it was a tough game for them, despite the conditions we may face going to play, in Algeria. So they might have the edge over us. They're a professional league. They are a top club, maybe more motivated than us when it comes to our financial aspects. But Gambians are talented. We can agree to that. And every player, right now, you go to Serekunda, if you go to Brikama, you see players that you feel maybe might be even coming here and perform equally like that they do, even though tactically they might not be aware. But the talent we have here, when we play away, is always very, very good. So I see a team that are working very hard every day, that are really, really ready to take the chance.
Absolutely. And that brings me to the coach of Coach Abdoulaye Boja would always say football is 90 minutes. Take your investment, take your money, take your whatsoever motivation, and we share the 90 minutes, and then we get the job done. I'm sure he shares the same sentiments with Coach Jatta. A reminder that this is the Gambia Football Federation's flagship program, the Football House Updates, and we are broadcasting live from the Football Hotel in Old Yundum, the National Technical Training Center. And our guest this afternoon, Real de Banjul Football Club, as they prepare to go to Rabat, Morocco, where they will have their double-legged CAF Champions League qualifiers match against AS FAR for the 21st and 27th of this month. Coach, finally, before you go, like I mentioned, that there's already another activity ongoing, and we wouldn't want to take much of your time in this broadcast as Mr. Willie is hanging on waiting for us. We would have loved the game to play at the Independence Stadium in Banjul. Unfortunately, it's still under the ban of CAF. Going to Rabat, what kind of motivation do we have facing this North African side on the 21st and on the 27th at their home, even though the first leg is our home match, but again, it's going to be played in Morocco, so literally they have a very huge fan capacity, and that you can attest. What advantage do we have as we head to Rabat?
The only advantage we have there is very slim. Slim in the sense, what we told our boys is about the business aspect of the game. When we talk about the business aspect of marketing themselves, all right, playing at that level is an advantage for the players. So when they stick together and stick to the plan and then fight hard, solely it will pay dividends. All right, it's not about the size of the dog, it's about the fight in the dog. That's the most important thing. And I think these kids are ready to do that. So always, I know, when I talk about Gambian football, I said that whenever Gambia play at home, we find it difficult to win. win in the sense because we have fans club, individual fans club, that deter us from having that maximum 3 points, in Gambian soil. But whenever you see Gambian team playing outside, you can see warriors playing football, representing their nation. So I think it's the same thing. I traveled with the armed forces for 3 times. I went twice as an assistant in Ibujara, and I went personally 2019 against Tengage, leading armed forces. I saw what those kids did in Senegal. So I believe I also have the same motivation that these kids also can perform up to the expectation, especially with Real de Banjul. The club is a marketing club, and then let's have their business model, selling players outside. This is the only advantage we have. Kids, they knew that when they go to Rabat on Morocco on the 21st, the only thing they have to do is to stick together as a family and then fight in making sure we get something out from the game. We saw how they play. At first we couldn't have much information on the team, but as we speak, we have 2-3 of their games. We are able to analyze and then see. It's almost the same strategy. Perhaps the levels are not the same. Right? The playing ground are not the same. Okay, if you look at them, the ground they play at is almost it's a hybrid grass. Okay, if you come to us, it's almost difficult. But thank God today and yesterday it was raining. So we use also that as a tool in making sure we align ourselves with the standards that we are going to meet in Morocco. I know before the game starts, they will try to water the grass so that we find it difficult to play. Yeah. But with the motivation and then the continuous talking to the players about what is likely going to happen there, I think the players are now well informed as to what is going to happen there.
I'm glad that you mentioned it because that was going to be my follow-up question. The adaptation of the climate and of course the environment in Rabat, knowing how cool that area can be. But I'm glad that you mentioned, like you've seen the weather today, it's similar to what we would anticipate in Rabat. Of course, Willie will take us through the weather and all those things. But on a final note, as I want to leave you to go and attend other matters, important matters for that matter, what are your expectations and what message will you have to the Gambian fans who are watching right now and those that would watch later? And of course, also how much support has the Gambia Football Federation and the government, if any, given to the team?
I think Mr. Abraham will talk about those the incentive from the government or from the FA. I think that is going to be part of his responsibility. For us, we always for us, we are not under pressure. We know that it's about the game. It's about strategy, it's about the try to implement and make sure your players stick to the game plan. No matter what happens, players stick to the game plan. That is the only thing that we need from the country, the players. We are going to do the job for them. We have the firm belief that come on the 21st, no matter what happens, we will fight to the nail in making sure we get positive results.
Thank you so much, Coach, for having you. Let me... Hamna nak suñ doon nara play si film ngir yàlla nañ laka olof wala ñu laka nga mandi ka kango fo pour ba jëla yàlla sulal man naka ngol moy because ni ko suñu dugal ay English fofu non maybe tactically I don't know whether ko faale, but how are the boys preparing in terms of communications amongst yourself just to see that ñu laka olof just to see that nga affaire si mëna am lu ñew sentu ci game ñu am ko?
Nonetheless,
it's okay.
The language, it doesn't matter. You can see that is the reason why we are in Basel. To see that unity among ourselves, to bring us closer to each other, talk to each other, see how best we are together. So I think being together for all those weeks, that will bring a lot of commitment and understanding between us.
Your final message to
same players who are playing in the national teams. So sometimes we left. That's part of it. So playing here, yes, we would love to see our loved ones, our families being here with us, cheering us, but have that. So what we have right now is that is what we're going to capitalize on. We are going to Morocco, and then we are not going to rely on anything except what we have. And then I have this belief in us. I have the belief in the team. I have the belief in the management because they have been doing so well. They have been doing tremendously to make sure that we reach to this level, because if you can see the previous, this is the time it has come. So I expect the whole country to be at our back in Morocco and do the rest.
Thank you so much. Now let's get our technical is working on it. Are you hearing me now? Is working on it. Are you hearing me now? Continue to see a way to find or get Mr. Willie Abraham in Rabat. He's part of the advanced team that traveled to Morocco ahead of Real de Banjul's double-legged tie to make the final arrangements for the team. And hello, Willie?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
It's a pleasure to have you on this flagship program. Take us through quickly, since the network is not favorable at the moment here, as it has been drizzling since morning, like I told you. But take us through the preparations or the level of preparedness as far as Real de Banjul's participation in the CAF Champions League qualifiers is concerned in Morocco.
Okay, I arrived here yesterday, early morning, to prepare everything that needs to be done, the hotels, the buses, the transportation for the staff, and everything is in place. Are you getting me?
Yes, I am hearing you loud and clear. We all are.
Okay. So, tomorrow I'm going to be inspecting the stadium where we will play the home and away game. And also I will go and facilities that we have put in place to make sure that the team can train depending on the program of the coach. Some days he's training twice a day.
Trying to get him through. He's spoken to us about having already inspected the hotel where the team is going to be based, and also looking at the training facilities and where the masting. And it's good that and today, as the coach mentioned, so that there's that acclimatization for the players. Do we have Mr. Okay, we lost him. Let me get the coach, Mr. Fode Jata. Let me just get coach before he gets back to his hotel, and then before we have Mr. Willie Abraham. Coach, it's going to be a very important and crucial game for Real de Banjul. Like you mentioned, we could have participated in the previous double championships we've won, the last 2-3 seasons, but it's the decision. It's now that we are going. What is the expectation you've heard so far from the public, yourself, from family, from home? What are the expectations of the people? What are they saying about our trip to Morocco?
I think first and foremost from the family already, that there's strong belief that we can achieve.
Okay, we have Willie. Sorry, let's get Willie again. Mr. Willie. Hello, Mr. Willie.
Yes, Mr. How are you?
Sorry about the reception. Anyway, it's what it is.
Yes.
Especially when it has been raining here.
Yes. So you were not getting anything that I was saying?
Yeah, so I heard everything that you said until you reach a point where you would have to inspect the training facilities and the football stadium. That is actually where we last heard from you.
Okay. I also said that, I would like to thank the Ministry of Youth and Sports. They have helped us financially for this participation. Also, I would like to thank the GFF. They have done a great job by assisting us in all the different areas that we needed help, with the visas, with the making sure that the referees got their tickets in my community, to make sure that all this competition for a while in Gambia, which is very sad. We would have loved to try and play in Senegal, but it was also difficult, and this is why we have chosen to come and play both legs in Morocco. I would like to apologize to all the fans for what game, but they are still our fans. We love them and say very, very positive things is very positive about these two legs, and that's very good. Which the coach was really happy with, and that's it from me here.
Thank you, Mr. Willie. But before you go, of course, you've given us a marathon of updates covering follow-up questions that I had already had in mind to ask you, especially on terms of the logistical arrangements and the support received so far, and of course, not playing at home, which you've covered all those areas. But what do you expect from the fans? I know as a consolation, you mentioned that even though we're not playing the match here, a way to compensate them is to try to negotiate for the live broadcast. But after doing that, what do you expect from the public? Perception from the public is very positive. There is a huge amount of support coming from the feedback that we're receiving at home. So you guys should be proud of yourselves and know that the public and the entire Gambian nation are behind Real de Banjul. What do you expect from the fans?
And to support us fully back home and pray for us. It's very important here. I mean, there is a big community. We have seen a lot of videos circulating on social media from different clubs, not only letting us. We were also, I mean, this is all. It's for guys. It's for Gambia. Not only
so much.
Gambia. Not only
so much. Real de Banjul so much. Real de Banjul's exco have done it all, like you said, and the media officers must be there. You were just really to close it up. Continue
all right, again, I have to thank Yaya Mane. I spoke with him yesterday, and he came.
Real de Banjul social media handles to be updating them. It will be doing this for Real de Banjul, but you and I will know, even though you've not experienced that much. Anytime as the pressure that I have, all the time I'm sitting at the press box trying to invite the best line that I have, opponent to test your level as a team that is preparing to play international club football. So for me, I'm ready mentally, and I'm excited, honestly, very, very excited, because like I said again, I don't know for anybody, but for me, the players I have seen in this team, and I talked about the Gambia playing against North Africans.